So we set up this storyline with Triple H, and I remember going into the office with Vince and Bruce and Jim Ross and Jerry Briscoe, and we're all sitting there and we're talking about it. And I'm talking about long term. I'm going, okay, where am I going to go after this? I go, in fact, we were talking about turning me heel at that point. And I said, I'd like to turn heel and kind of change my appearance and maybe even get rid of the whole garbage man thing altogether eventually. But I want to change my appearance, maybe cut my hair. Now, as soon as I said cut my hair, Jim Ross chimed in. He goes, well, if you want to cut your hair, we can make it part of the angle and let Triple H cut your hair off as part of this. And I remember sitting back in that room and looking at all these guys sitting around and the way they were looking at me. And I went, look, I know I'm not going to beat him. I know I'm not going to cut his hair. So I'll do this as long as I have some way of getting revenge afterwards. And Vince McMahon said, absolutely. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to do it. So we go out, we do it. We do the whole deal. We set it up. We do the free for all match where I beat him by disqualification, mind you. I beat him by disqualification. I could never pin anybody, and then he got mad.
Still a W.
Yeah,
still a W.
Yes, and then he came back the next week at TV and jumped me from behind and cut my hair off. We're off to the races. And then we got closer time for the pay-per-view and everything. So in this time, I re-signed the 1-year rollover, right? And it seemed like as soon as the ink wasn't even dry on the extension, and they were like, all right, you're just going to get killed in this match too. You're going to lose and whatever, And I remember we had these conversations. I used to sit there and it was like, in the free-for-all match, he hit me with brass knuckles and got disqualified, right? You remember that? He hit me with brass knuckles and knocked me out, and Gorilla Monsoon came out as the commissioner, and he switched the decision, and I won. Yet he comes out on In Your House, and he hits me in the face with the trash can lid. No Gorilla Monsoon. I'm sitting there going, if it happened this time, why is it not going to happen this time?
Consistency.
No, and they didn't care. They were like, this match doesn't fucking matter. They're just like, go out and do it. Because by that point, I had no bargaining chip because I resigned. So they weren't as nice to me anymore. And Vince's exact words were, just show up like you always do with a smile on your face and do your job. And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, this is fucking ridiculous. I go, he's got me. There's nothing I can do. I have zero bargaining position. There's nothing I can do. Am I going to walk out? I might as well have, because I never went back. But I didn't walk out or anything like that. But and then after that, I complained so much. After all that was over, I complained every week at TV to the point where Vince said, go ahead and go on home. And I was just freaking 4 months into the new year contract. I sat home for 8 months, couldn't go wrestle anywhere, do anything. But that's how it all went down.